I woke up to my shoulder being shaken by a tired-looking bartender. As I straightened upright, my vision, hazy around the edges, multiplied, leaving trails with each movement. "It's closing time," he said, patting my back. I felt nauseous but managed to stand on wobbly legs and take my bottle of Christian Brothers, which had been sitting open on the table for about an hour. He pushed my chair in, the metal legs squealing against the floor. I asked to use the bathroom before they closed, and he sighed before pointing me down the hall. As I walked across the yellowed tiles, no longer bothering to step only on the black ones, as usual, I heard the bartender sing, "Dreadful sorry, Clementine." The men's room door creaked open, and as soon as it shut, I slid down and buried my head in my hands. Though I was still her man, it felt like a long time ago. Maybe the whole thing was wrong. What if she thought so too, but just never said it? I got up and hunched over the counter, my head hovering above the dirty sink. My chest heaved as I vomited out the alcohol I'd been gulping down carelessly. I wiped my lips with the back of my hand. My reflection in the water spot-ridden mirror almost didn't look like me. As the bartender banged his knuckle on the other side of the door, I knew I didn't have any more time to think. Leaving the bottle on the counter, I opened the door before he could and slipped out, leaving $10 on the table. I walked down the wet street with my head hung low. It had stopped raining, though water still poured from the awnings I passed under and onto my head. I barely noticed it over the pulsing headache. I knew I couldn't show up at my girlfriend's place like this, so I figured I'd rush back to my apartment before it got too cold and dark. A particularly beat-up car, missing its hood, rolled past me and splashed water onto my shoes. I'd figure that out in the morning. The sound of my footsteps faded into the night, and before I could recognize the cracks in the sidewalk, I was home. I dug around in my pockets for my keys, pulling them out along with the lining of my pocket. A roofing company flyer was taped to my door, the tape sure to chip the frail paint. I ripped it off, crumpled it, and tossed it into a dying bush near the stairs. The janky lock wiggled as I turned the key, and I stepped inside, slamming the door behind me. I didn't bother taking off my shoes or turning on the lights. I blinked slowly, took about 5 steps, then collapsed face down onto my white rug. I'd probably have to throw it out in the morning because of how drenched I was. I didn't care. I remembered a couple of months ago, I'd walked through the door much like this, but not drunk, just giddy. We laughed, and she groaned something like, "You smell like wet asphalt." We messed around until the end of the night. Now the end of the night feels closer than she does. I wanted to get up and drink more, anything to pass the time, but I couldn't even find the strength to squeeze my fist, let alone stand. I shut my eyes. In the darkness, I could barely tell whether they were open or closed. My muscles relaxed, and everything faded to black.